Week 7 of the fantasy football season. Here's a few running backs. I have his sleeper options this week. The first guy, Keanon Vaugh of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So Vaughn right now, he's out there in 100% of fantasy leagues. And now he's the number 2 running back on the depth chart after the bye week. Tampa Bay Buccaneer team with Sean Tucker getting demoted to the third role and not seeing any of the field. So in that game, obviously, he didn't do much, but he did have 6 touches. He had 9 rushing yards in that one. And Rachaad White struggling as well. So right now, last season was a problem for Tampa Bay to run the football. Leonard Fournette, he really wasn't that good. White, he didn't get going towards the end of the season, he did. And right now, like I said, Vaughn, he did become the backup over here in Tampa Bay. And if Rachaad White continues to struggle, he could be a sleeper option this week versus the Atlanta Falcons because he's a pretty speedy running back out of the backfield. The running back that's going to play some third downs and long pass yard downs. And right now, if you're very desperate with a lot of injuries and 6 teams on bye, Vaughn, like I said, is a sleeper option out there in 100% of fantasy leagues. The next running back is Kiante Ingram of the Arizona Cardinals. So it looks like Ingram's the man over there for this Cardinal team. And right now, surprisingly, still out there in 79% of fantasy leagues. So in his debut as the starter last week with James Conner out on IR for a few more weeks, 10 carries, 40 yards, and 2 catches, 11 yards. So this week here in a matchup with the Seattle Seahawks, they give up the 17th most fantasy points to running backs on the season. I think Ingram, he could go in there in Seattle and have a decent game. This offensive line's mediocre, I know, for this Arizona Cardinal team. But Ingram right now, it's either him, Damian Williams, or DiMarcito. And DiMarcito, obviously the undrafted rookie this season. He went down to the 3rd-string running back. He was a big waiver wire pickup a couple weeks ago. So right now, while Ingram looks like he's going to be the starter once again and at least get 10 to 15 touches in this one at Seattle, in deeper leagues with injuries and bye weeks, I think he's a decent sleeper this week. In the third and final back I have as a sleeper option, Reynolds of the Detroit Lions. So Craig Reynolds, he's going to get some work, I believe, in this game. Even if Jahmyr Gibbs plays, I don't think Gibbs is going to get all the touches, obviously. And the last couple weeks, Reynolds has seen the field. Week 5 versus Carolina, 7 carries, 52 yards, a touchdown. At week 6 at Tampa, 10 carries, 15 yards, and 2 catches, 28 yards. Obviously, not a good game it was for him in Tampa Bay. Only 1.1 yards per carry pretty much. So Reynolds right now out there in 82%. We know David Montgomery, he's definitely out in this game. Going to miss a few weeks with the rib injury. And I think Reynolds will get a workload in this one. We'll just see if Jahmyr Gibbs is going to be 100% or close to it, where this could be a 50-50 split. Or we could see Gibbs obviously get a majority of the touches. So that's a few running backs I have as sleepers for Week 7 of the fantasy football season.